I gotta like hype myself up because I am so tired.
Aggressive.
Be aggressive.
Okay, great way to start the video.
Okay. Hi guys, welcome back. I'm Maya with Simply Bloom. So tonight we are going to do kind of two different things. I am going to be starting some cold stratification for some perennials. A lot of perennials need a cold period before they germinate. Sometimes you can get some germination, but it won't be as successful. For example, delphiniums. I think I tried planting them 3 years in a row and I couldn't figure out why they weren't growing well. Turns out delphiniums need a cold period. I learned that out the hard way. So I'll be going through all the varieties of perennials that we will be starting, and then I'll show you how I do that cold stratification. I just throw them in the fridge. This is the same way that I plant my Bells of Ireland seeds as well. That will come later. Oh, I should check if I actually need to put them in the fridge. I mean, I know Bells of Ireland need to go in the fridge. I just need to check on what date I put them in the fridge. And then after that's done, I am going to be checking the germination rate of some old seed that I found, particularly some pelleted seed. So if you don't know, pelleted seed has a very short shelf life. After about a year, germination rate goes way down. And I found some pelleted seed in my seed stash. They're very old. So typically I start my seeds in seed starting cells like this. This is a 40 cell seed starting tray, and I also have a 70 cell seed starting tray. These can take up quite a bit of space under your grow lights, and I don't necessarily want to start a tray of that if I don't think I'm going to have real good germination rate. So what I like to do is I actually like to save like produce containers from the grocery store. We have a raspberry, a blackberry container, strawberry containers work great, and I also have a kiwi container to give you different options. So pretty much what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of seed starting mix in here and then just dump the seeds in. Dump them all in here because this takes up, actually I'll probably use the smaller like blackberry one. This takes up a whole lot less space than these trays do if I'm only expecting a few to germinate. And then once they have germinated and have gotten a little bit bigger, then I can put them into a seed starting tray if I choose, if I have enough, or just into like a 4-inch pot. So that's what we're going to do after that. I live in zone 3, northern Minnesota. Lavender doesn't typically survive here, and typically I don't like lavender. I've never liked lavender. I'm not a huge fan of the smell. However, oh my gosh, has it been 2 years since my melanoma?
Has it?
I think so.
Wow.
So 2 years ago, I discovered that I had melanoma skin cancer, and when I got the diagnosis, my husband was at work, and I called him slightly terrified. I was pretty scared when I called him at work, and he left work to come home early, and he stopped at a greenhouse and he got me a container of lavender. I'm not sure the variety of lavender. And then he also got me a flat of foxglove. Foxglove and I have a love-hate relationship. I love that flower. I love it so much. It looks so wonderful in the garden. I can't seem to grow it well from seed. Once I get an established plant, then it's fine. But when I try starting it from seed, I just struggle. I don't know. So I told him, like, I've been trying to grow this foxglove. I'm not successful with it. So he stopped that day at the greenhouse, got me a lavender and a foxglove to surprise me, kind of lift my spirits. And that was the most beautiful lavender I've ever seen. It bloomed all summer long like crazy. Pollinators loved it. I actually like the smell of that lavender. I don't know why I don't like the smell of other lavenders. I don't know. Anyways, I saw this seed packet in the store, and this is English lavender. So English lavender will hopefully flower the first year, so I'm going to be starting that process today. Needs cold stratification. We're going to do that. The delphinium seeds that I am going to be starting, we have Magic Fountain's Cherry Blossom. which I have planted, but bad germination rate. Then I have Magic Fountain Sky Blue White B. Both those are from Johnny's. And then I have a few varieties from Burpees. We have the Pacific Giant Mixed Colors, which is like light lavender, deep purple, white, and almost like a pink color. And then I guess this is the two same varieties here, different packets. Fantasia, I think. I don't actually know how to say it. And then we have Fantasia Mixed Colors, which is just white and different shades of blue. So we're going to be doing those. Moving on to Columbine. Columbine is another perennial. We have quite a few different varieties. McKenna Giant Columbine seeds. And then we have Tall Double Mix, Barlow Mix, Harlequin Mixed Colors. And then we have Leprechaun Gold, which is the most striking blue with a variegated leaf. I saw that, knew I had to grow it. Beautiful. And Columbine, it has like an early spring color. When a lot of the other perennials are just waking up, this is a great option to add that spring color into your garden. And then Echinacea. Not every variety of Echinacea needs a cold stratification. The Echinacea purpurea does not need cold. And again, I started these from seed 2 years ago. Did not give them the cold period. I didn't have great germination success, so we are trying it with the cold stratification this time. I have the purple and white coneflower mix. Green Twister, which has that beautiful pink and then it kind of fades out to green on the petals. I have Mellow Yellow, lots of different shades of yellow. And then Paradiso Super Duper Echinacea. I used this in the farmer's market, this one. People went crazy for it. Really, really pretty. These are all the varieties that we were going to be putting in the fridge. And then the ones that don't need cold, that I will be doing the germination testing in these fruit containers. I have, this is the Digitalis purpurea, Camelot Lavender Foxglove. I honestly cannot remember the last time I bought this. And then we have Dusty Miller New Look. I had no idea that these were pelleted seeds, and I must have bought these probably like 4 years ago, and I just never got around to planting it. So you can see pelleted. We are just gonna see what happens. How I do the cold stratification with these, again, it's the same way I do my Bells of Ireland. These, it's recommended to give perennials 2 to 4 weeks of chill time in the fridge. I'm probably only going to do 2 weeks because Zone 3, I have a short growing season. I want to get things rolling as fast as I can so they're a nice size by the time I plant them out. So what I'm going to do, I'll demonstrate with one and then I'll kind of like speed up the process. I am going to write the variety on a tag. So we'll start with the lavender. And I have some paper towels here. I'm just going to take one and I'm going to dampen it. Okay, so it's slightly damp, not dripping wet, but slightly damp. And I'm going to take my lavender seeds. And in case anyone is wondering, this English lavender is a perennial in zones 6 through 9. So I'm going to take my seeds and just kind of sprinkle how many I think I want, which I really have no idea. I'm going to do a decent amount because I do plan on using them in my cut flower garden. Then I'm just going to fold it back up, slip it in a Ziploc bag, and then I'm going to take my tag and put it in there as well. And then we will put it in the fridge. So I'm just going to kind of speed up the process, do the next several varieties, and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, I have all my little baggies here that I'm going to put in the fridge. Typically I put in like my bottom veggie produce drawers, but I don't want all these loose bags flying around with my broccoli. So we are going to be putting these in a gallon Ziploc baggie just to kind of keep them all together. There we go. And then we are going to put these in the fridge. Okay, those are tucked into the fridge. So moving on to the last two things. I am just going to use the smaller, like I mentioned. So I have a raspberry and a blackberry container. I'm taking out the little plastic pieces on the bottom that kind of absorb moisture. And then I am removing the top sticker off the top because both these seeds need light to germinate. And while that won't block a whole lot of light, I just don't want anything else that might prevent good, if any, germination from these. So I removed one. Now I'm removing the other sticker. Luckily, they come off pretty easily. Now I don't need very much soil, so I'm just going to go in with a little bit of seed starting mix. All right, I don't want to go get the watering can, so I'll just use water out of my spray bottle. And we're just going to add just a little bit of water just to kind of help get it evenly damp. All right, just so it kind of starts to hold together, kind of like a snowball. And I'm just going to kind of fill it into my containers. Okay, I have my two little trays here. I did write some labels, so I'm going to put this in at an angle because I still want to be able to close the lid. This is going to work as our humidity dome. And then once they germinate, if they germinate, I will pop that lid off. But for now, in at an angle is fine. Going in with my Dusty Miller. This is a little vial that they came in. And I'm literally just going to kind of like sprinkle them over the surface. And same thing with the foxglove. Now, if there's anything that is surface sown and needs light to germinate, I like to top with some vermiculite. It just helps keep the seeds from drying out, keeps the soil from drying out, and it helps with like fungal issues and algae. And just giving it a good spray down with my spray bottle. I need to get one of those pump sprayers. That would be so much easier. All right, and we are going to close the lid. There are some vents on the side, so I suppose I could tape that off with like clear packing tape just to help with the humidity, but I'm not going to do it in this case. I have these two here. I'm going to pop these underneath the grow light. And I will bring you along with me in about 2 to 3 weeks once I bring all the perennials out of the fridge to start the next process with planting those up. I'll probably do the same thing, probably like put them in containers like this until they germinate. And then I will put them in other seed trays, I think, or I might do seed trays. I'm not sure. I'll let you know when we get there, but I'm tired. I'm going to bed. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye. Now, not all echinacea needs a cold stratification period. You're making me laugh.
Sorry.
Digitalis purpurea. Wait, that's the echinacea variety I just said. What is the echinacea variety that doesn't need it then? I must have read this and thought, no, I'm pretty sure there's a purpurea echinacea. February, what day is it? 6th?
5th.
5th?
I'm sorry.
February 5th. According to this, I am still 15 weeks before my last